Hey everyone, and welcome back to another reactions episode with your homies. It's the Project WEBTOON podcast here. Of course, as always, your big man is Sleepy.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Seraph here.
This is Arc Dragoon.
Hey, we're back in it one more time for episode 8 of Noblesse, coming at us live, especially with the last episode, setting us up for some new stuff finally. I know that we're a little bit ahead in the story. I know, Art, we didn't actually get to check. We weren't with us last week. Did you watch episode 7?
Yes.
Did you have any thoughts?
Nah.
Was anything out of place, or someone showed up that shouldn't have?
I feel like everything's already kind of weird anyway, so it's whatever at this point.
Okay, I just figured I'd check with you as always. But yeah, so no, we finally got to see at least homegirl from the opening credits, and exactly her or at least the role that she was playing in all of this. Exactly, also with where Sierra and Regis had come from. So, and I know Seraph had been asking about homeboy, old man with glasses, and he showed up at the end for us just to show off a little bit. So I'm guessing with this episode we'll see more of him. But yeah, so not gonna waste too much time on this one. I'm gonna just jump right in because I know we got the holidays right on the corner there.
Cool. I'm still gonna eat.
I know you are, but I told you you shouldn't. Oh damn.
次移動だぜ。どうしたの？一緒に行こうよ。
失礼。許可のない立ち入れは府警でも禁止されている。悪いが身分を証明するものを見せてもらえるか。こいつ一体。
Look, man, you have to show flex it on
Damn.
Yanush.
I ain't never seen those two move so quickly in the face of something.
Do you see what I mean? That like they can look and tell that those three are not human immediately, even if like you don't see the tattoo.
No, I wouldn't give it for that, but we've had this discussion with them being able to sense things. Sister.
はい、すでに日本。
本当なんですかね。レジスとセーラが例の棺の中身と遭遇したっていうのは。貴族らしきものと会ったというのなら、その可能性は高いだろ
う。いけない子たち。それでだんまりしていたというのなら。カディス・エトラまでライジェル。気がらわしきもの。
It makes it seem like that Rye's a traitor.
Yes.
I think they stated that out.
It's fine. You guys won't even find out. It's fine.
We won't even find
We
out.
won't even find out.
Like, we kind of find out if I'm sure where this goes. You kind of find out, but like you don't actually get any of the full story until like way later. So it's whatever.
Like season 2 later. That'd be the best reason.
I mean, there's already silly reasons for stuff happening in here. Why not?
Also, this is different.
What, this introduction?
Yes.
お前の兄貴は今忙しいようだ。お前、謹慎が解けたばっかだろ。でしゃばると。子供扱いするな。弟の方は生き急ぐ系だな。
Tiny Edward Elric is super mad.
やはりあなたでしたか。カディス・エトラマでライジェル様。
久しぶりだな。ゲシュテル。
だが姿を消してから貴族界ルケドニアには大きな変化がございました。
You know, I would say this. In the webtoon, they never actually go back to touch or talk about him being in the coffin.
They never
like no, like they bring it up as in like we know it happened.
But they don't bring it up to, like, talk about it.
But here it seems like they knew that he was in the coffin or he was missing or something. That's not how it ever is in the webtoon.
Okay.
Part of the mystery was always like, how did he end up in the coffin or whatever? And that's one of the things that's just never ever brought up again.
Okay.
世代交代で生じた穴は未だ大きく。
セーラ・ロイヤードもそのを見た。あれは貴族たちが代々一族の家主に継承してきた武器のはず。
I also do think last episode was weird filler, but okay.
なるほど。
It was a little bit.
ルケドニアは私が知っている頃とはだいぶ変わってしまったようだな。
シュテル様はランデグルー家の家主様でいらっし
So
ゃ
I
る。
take it in the webtoon they at least they do talk about at least what he is accused traitor-wise for.
Yes.
Okay.
サイズ感が
So
違
that's at
う。
least one mystery we don't have to worry about.
あの
Not
黒
coming
の
up.
目
おしゃれだとしたらやばい。おかっぱとロン毛もどうかと思うけどな。
これはテクノカットおかっぱではない
Seraph, they're shitting on your hairstyle, man.
んで気に
Shitting
な
on
る
your
のは
hairstyle
うちの
choice.
社長との関係だよね
の二人、何か因縁でもあるのか。わからん。知り合いだったこと自体、僕とセイラも。
ライジェル様より不可思議な存在。
お前に宿の世話をされる日が来ると
気持ちでいっぱいだ。
変わらんな。あの方の前では猫をかぶる。お前はかつてルケドニアで多くの我々貴族を虐殺した狂人なのだからな。
More powerful than previously thought.
Yeah.
If he can
We
take
knew he
on
was
nobles
strong,
too.
just not strong enough, not that strong.
He's able to apparently take on nobles.
おかしいか？貴族であるお前たちだけの力を。おかしいか？
Well, damn.
He's ruthless.
He definitely was.
アディス・エトラまでライジェル。まだ気持ちは変わらないか。ここに住めばいい。お断りします。豪華な部屋だってお断りします。可愛いメイドお断りします。父肉林お断りします。仕方ない。わがままを言うわけにはいかないな。
Is this possibly Homegirl's Papa arc?
What?
Or just the previous Lord?
ロード
I mean, you don't have to.
Oh, there we go. That he's the previous
彼
lord,
と
it
よ
looks
り
like.
調査をしておりました。貴族狩りに日襲撃にあった中央騎士団の生き残りが申すには、突如現れたその者は疾風のごとく次々と団員たちをなぎ倒していき、そしてその者は間違いなくこれ以上野放しにしておくのは危険かと。
I still have problems with them not showing who the big bad is.
Like not
Like the
showing
final
who it
boss
is
is.
currently.
No, not currently. Like there is like a final boss that you should have already known. Because knowing things about Frankenstein is part of the irony of his story.
So they already totally knew where he was.
もう逃げ場はない。おとなしく一緒に来てもらう。断る。
Frankenstein live and in charge.
じゃないか。できるものならな。やれやれ。こんなに脆弱とはサンプルの価値すらないな。死ぬ。
この者らは少々自分の力を過信しておったようだ。君たちは退避し近況の報告を。
ケルティア家家主レイガ・ケルティア。
これは光栄なことだ。おえらものか。気が乗らないな。
レイガ、
もしものことがあっても、我がケルティア家にはすでに後を告げる者が。
You haven't seen Frankenstein fight yet.
I'm just guessing that he doesn't play very fair.
Fair? I mean, you win. That's all that matters.
You just win.
Hmm. 困ったものだ。カルタスを取り出したことは謝ろう。だが、お前を認めたからこその愚行はやめたまえ。
この状況、いつまた巡り会えるか。これは実験だ。行くところまで行ってみようじゃないか。スフィア。
似た気配を感じるが、そうではない。
私は謝らない。気を悪くするな。
愚かな。
者が人間を狩ることは許されても、その逆は許されないとでも言うのか。
貴族が人間を何を言っている。
So Frankenstein's got a personal love relationship with the nobles?
It's complicated. It's not. It's part of the reason why Rai is seen as a traitor. You find out though.
使い捨てにする品のない奴らは山ほどいる。弱くはないことを証明してやる。
あやつこれほどの力を。魂を蝕み始めておる。
これ以上力が暴走すれば抑えられなくなる。
やむをえん。姿を見せよ。レガサスではないな。
行くぞ。
逃したか。
そのようだな。急ごう。
くそ。ダークスフィアはまだ私の手には負えないか。
The sequence is also out of
place.
Out of place. This is supposed to kind of happen later.
Well, we're getting it now.
The webtoon the way it was, and then fill it with and then like we skip a huge chunk of stuff before we got to this.
Well, we got this. What's up?
私のだ。
All right. What the fuck? Episode 8 is now finished and in the bag. What did you two think of this episode?
I think it's weird. Like I said, I think it's weird that we had basically a filler episode, and then we skipped a bunch of stuff for this part.
Okay, but why do you think that's weird with how the whole series has been so far with this? When they skipped a whole bunch of stuff just to get us to the first part in episode 1, and then things that are supposed to occur much later.
No, it's not because things are being.
Now.
No. It's more like information is being spoon-fed now.
Like
that's the problem with me. Yeah, like for me, it's because there are things that are supposed to happen that like it's supposed to remain part of the secret up until we get to like where we are. Like you're not supposed to see like Rai's house and all this stuff. You're not supposed to know any of this stuff because you're also supposed to be. You're also supposed to have the same exact knowledge as the basically Tony One and all the young ones. Yeah,
all the
you're supposed to have you're only supposed to have enough information as they do, because they are also trying to solve the mystery of Rye and Frankenstein and what is going on. But for this, it feels like they're spoon feeding you information that takes away from that mystery.
Well, for one, we didn't have the kids in this one at all. We only got the Union guys, and even then, once after the first sequence when old dude shows up, they're not even in the scene afterwards. It's literally just all of the nobles talking. So are we even sure that, you know, they're going to even be trying to solve the mystery or even care? Especially since they just in the last episode wiped their memory.
The mystery, it plays a part of the plot later on as to when Ryan and them go back to Ludonia.
Okay, but I think at this point, because of the way that's been, it's us that's doing the mystery solving and not the characters in there anymore. They switched that role around. Just because, once again, like I said, the two kids are not in here. They're not in this episode at all. And when you said like we're supposed to have as much information as the union members,
just the kids, like it's because what?
Well, no, you said even the union members, they're supposed to have not have this much information, but they're not even present during this part.
Oh, you're talking about M21 of them?
Yeah, like they're not there.
They're not union anymore. They're not union anymore.
I still call them that because that's how I'm designating them, but still, they're not in there after that sequence. So I think they're removed from the part because now we're doing the actual mystery solving instead of the characters themselves. So they may be lessening that part for them all around. That's where I feel like when you keep saying like we're being spoon-fed that information, but we shouldn't have any more than them. But I think that's because this is how they've changed the sequence of events. So they're no longer basically, you know, the drivers of the stories as much as we are. We're trying to find that information.
But that's problematic again, like I said, because like not knowing that information is part of the plot later on.
Well, we also don't know what part of those plots will come to fruition because of the changes they've made.
No, it's kind of important.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll see.
Like,
I mean,
really
we can't say because so much of those plot pieces have already changed or shifted or moved, or certain characters are here beforehand.
They've just bumped everything up faster, which was what I'm saying. Like, I am perfectly fine if this episode was here. I am just not fine with the last episode and then this episode. This is what it is. Because that's what I'm saying. It is weird for us to have like basically them playing basketball and having a filler episode. Mm-hmm. And then when that time could have been spent on developing up to this point instead of just like having Gidgeotto and then we have a flashback.
Yeah.
When we could have like developed part of that first and then we get to this point and then that'd be way better. It's just their choice of having the filler and then this, when especially a filler that wasn't necessary, and like that's why I'm saying like it's weird that they decided to like leave that little bit and made it longer than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but I mean, so far from the story's point of perspective as an anime only, there's no problem here. I feel no direction is wrong that I'm being shown this because of what I've been privy to. So this only seemingly really affects anyone who has the prior knowledge of the webtoon. That is what I'm hearing from you. Is you don't like these sequences because this is important, but you only know that this is important because you have that knowledge. Like, so Seraph, do you, like, for right now, do you have, like, anything off about this? Like, do you feel like you're being spoon-fed or, like, just trying to get yours?
No. Like, it feels like it's just going to where it needs to go.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel anything.
It's trying to slowly pretty much get to the point, like, right off the rip.
Oh, you're talking about, like, the opening?
No, like, it's getting to the point as it goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, pretty quickly, and it should, you know.
Also, that transition
I'm not
into
too lost as to where it is, so.
That transition to the flashback also almost didn't make any sense.
That I will agree with you. Like, I did not understand that jump. I was like, wait, what happened?
How did we get here?
Yeah, like whose
people?
Whose memory are we going through right now?
because how that scene would have happened in the webtoon would have been like the next chapter. You understand that? So like I thought that's why like there's at least the transition between the break between the last chapter and this chapter, so you know that this is different. This is like you watched that and I was like, if I didn't know any better, I would be like, it's not like Frankenstein is wearing that clothes that are that different from like what he would normally wear, right? Yeah. Like So you would be like, yeah, he's a fancy ass all the time. Why would he still not be a fancy ass back then, right?
Change.
So
yeah, I would definitely see that as being super weird. But so far,
that's why I said, like, that's what I was trying to say. Like the sequence here, the way that jump happens is not supposed to, like, that flashback is supposed to happen a little bit later on. And that transition for that flashback makes more sense in the webtoon. Here, though, it's not like...
It makes sense because of Homeboy showing up and talking about the past. Like, I figured at some point there would have occurred. It kind of makes sense,
but not enough to be like, this was a good transition into that flashback. If it ended on that scene with, like... Because if they were going to cut it anyways, they could have just added a line or, like, something and have basically... Frankenstein initiate the flashback.
That's what I was like. Somebody could have asked or acknowledged it, because like the one thing
you say something like this. All you have to do is like this. I remember it like yesterday. Something really like it's a transition.
The most crappy ironic.
That? When you say that, it just hits that.
Yeah, right.
Just the most cliche of a line for the flashback.
But I'm saying is like with.
I think it would have been fine if it was Frankenstein doing it. It would have been fine. Like I was trying to say, like if it was Sierra or Regis that ask a question that lead into it, because it seems they don't know anything that's really going on, especially what happened in the past. Like the fact when they got there, they're like, "You're supposed to be finding this coffin," but they actually didn't know who was inside of it. But everyone else who sent them on the quest knew. So
no, and that's also the weird part here, where they know that they went to go look for the coffin. Because the thing is, in the webtoon, they're not supposed to know they went to go look for a coffin. They have no idea what they were looking for in the first place. They were there to go investigate M21 and M24's rampage.
They switched that up entirely for this.
They switched that up entirely, so it's weird. That's why I was saying, like, according to like with the plot as to like where the ultimate goal of the plot is, it's weird that like the lords knew that Rai was still in a coffin.
And that's why I'm saying that leads me to believe the whole mystery plot behind that isn't the major setup for what they were going with in the story this time. Is that all the other characters aren't trying to find out what it is, because other people already seemingly know, and we're the ones that are trying to figure it out by piecing together what they're showing us. But yeah, no, that transition that we got was a little awkward. I will say the least.
You know what? They could have just been like, 800 years ago or something, right? Like, just give me something at the bottom. Like, just show me some sort of transition.
Right, sipping tea and just being like, I remember.
Give me context.
I remember that time, that first time we met each other.
I remember the first day I met Frankenstein or something. Just something here.
Some kind of lead in.
They just gotta make it as cliche. They could have made it as cliche as possible, just to process it faster.
Just to help.
Because like what the nobles don't age, right? The nobles don't look like they age at all. So you don't even realize how far back you went, right?
No.
All you know is it's at least 800 years because Rai was asleep for 800 years.
Yes.
Like anything, and then you wouldn't have even realized, like. You know that Frankenstein was already like at creep hiding places, so like if he was in a dank ass dungeon, you wouldn't even question he was in a dungeon now, like right? You'd be like,
I'd question it a little bit.
Ass shit.
I'd question it a little bit since he was only doing the dank dungeon hiding way back then. He hasn't shown that he's doing any weird experiments and hiding around now. That would probably be maybe a little bit of a clue.
Which is also something that they were supposed to do, but they did it.
Oh, something else that was left out. Oh, all right. Well, just to break everything down here that we've already got so far. So I'll start with you, Ark. What do you want to give this one for a score? How do you feel about it?
I give last episode a 5.
Okay.
Because I just think it's unnecessary.
All right. And what about this episode?
This episode, I give a 6.
Got it right. I said 6. I said 6 in my head. All right. I take it just because of some of the sequences and the spoon-fed information, apparently.
Yes.
All right. Seraph, how about you?
I give it a 7.
You give it a 7? Any likes, dislikes through the whole sequence or the episode itself?
I'm glad we got to meet the old man.
You finally glad we got to meet the old man?
Yes.
And his mighty spear arm.
Yeah, man, that thing is huge.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Also, I really like seeing Frankenstein starting to fight and seeing him use that dark spear of his that he had, and also them explaining that it's not a soul weapon, but it's kind of like a soul weapon, but we don't know what it is.
I mean, he is a doctor. He is a doctor, and he is an experimenter.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
That's also why I have a problem that they haven't shown who the big bad is, because that is integral to like
this.
To know who Frankenstein also is, to like everything else. Be like, oh, this is obviously because of this. Like it's necessary. It's necessary.
You and your necessarily not so necessary at the moment. I'm gonna give this one a 7 as well. I enjoyed that fight sequence and getting to see Frankenstein kind of go all out. Not to mention a little bit more knowledge what's been going on between them. Why Rai is pretty much no longer in the homeland, and getting to see how they meet up for the first time. That end sequence, still makes me laugh a little bit. They've always had that dynamic quality between one another. It's good to see. Never went away. But I think we're good on that one. We can go ahead and close out on this. Thank you everyone for joining us for this reactions episode. Please leave a comment below and give us your thoughts on what you thought of this episode, as well as all of our reviews for this. But also please hit that like button if you can. Let us know that we're doing what you want and if you want to see more, as well as hit that bell and subscribe if you want to get more of our content, and join the channel as we get into it. But I'll go ahead and close us out for one last time this night. It is your boy Sleepy.
It's your boy Seraph here.
This is Arc Dragoon out.
Mighty Fishman. All right, we'll see y'all later.